On the last Sunday of that long summer, after supper, we walked to the river as we had done each Sunday all summer. The path lay warm under our bare feet, dust rising in soft towers that dissolved in the evening air, and the cicadas braided the heat with their steady, patient song. Grandmother walked between us, her blue shawl slipping over her shoulders with every careful step, smelling faintly of lilac soap and the sea. She always claimed she could hear if she listened hard enough. I wore my best shirt, sleeves rolled up to show the sun-dark hems, and my cousin Mia dragged her sandals behind her, impatient even as she grinned at the thought of the water. The river lay there, quiet and wide, a smooth sheet of pewter that reflected the last light of day and the first glow of stars like a promise. We found our usual place where the bank sank into a friendly mud that clung to our toes and held the memory of our steps long after we walked away. The water there seemed to know our names, as if it had waited all day to see us come, to hear the spill of a laugh and then listen in turn. The willows along the edge whispered their soft, rustling gossip, and a dragonfly dipped and skimmed over the surface, leaving a line of bright shimmer in its wake. A fish flicked a tail near the roots of a fallen log, and the echo of its small, quick splash sounded like a copper coin being dropped into a well of water. Grandmother settled onto a flat rock that had worn a hollow in it, the kind of seat that makes you lean back and feel you found a place meant for you since time began. She drew her shawl tighter and spoke in the gentle, even cadence that made us want to slow down our breathing and listen as if the river itself were listening. She said, not in a preacher's tone, but in a warm and knowing one, that time keeps a memory for us if we are willing to listen for it. She meant, I think, more than clocks and calendars. She meant the way a day can cradle 100 little meanings, until you realize one day what they have formed inside you. The scent of damp earth rose from the ground, mingling with the faint tang of leaves and the salt that seemed to cling to the summer air, even in the middle of nowhere inland. The air held a touch of rain that hadn't fallen yet, a promise you can taste on the tip of your tongue. I pressed the cool, slick edge of a smooth stone into the palm of my hand, letting its roughness teach me what a day can embed in a body. A small ache of happiness, a soft ache of longing, and a stubborn kind of courage that shows itself when you wait and watch and do not hurry the world. We skipped stones for a while, not to see how far they would go, but to hear the little whispers of the river as each stone woke it up and then let it drift back to sleep. Grandmother watched us, not with a spectator's eye, but with the right kind of care that makes a child want to do better, not out of fear, but out of respect. She reminded us to listen to the water's language, the way it kept a memory for every ripple, how it made a home for every leaf that fell, how it carried away what needed to depart without ever saying a harsh word about it. It was a lesson in quiet humor and patient endurance, the kind that stays with you long after the laughter fades and the sun has disappeared beyond the barley fields. But it wasn't only the river that spoke to us that evening. A leaf, pale and slender, drifted down the current and, for a moment, seemed to choose my hand as its resting place. It rode the bend of the stream in a lazy arc and then settled, still and certain, behind the log where the water curled back on itself. I watched it in the glow of the last light, how it travelled, how it found a moment of stillness not by force but by surrender to the current. Grandmother whispered then that the world is full of such small, stubborn things, things that refuse to be hurried and are all the more beautiful for it. The leaf's patience felt like a quiet map of the heart. You cannot rush some courses. You must let them find their own path. That night, when we turned for home through the growing darkness, I carried with me a sense that the river had given us something larger than a memory of play. It had offered a way to hold ourselves still enough to notice how the day continues even as it ends, how a childhood warmth can be carried into years you did not know you would have. I did not know then the exact shape of the life I would live, how it would tilt toward care, toward listening, toward a gentleness born of seeing how easily a moment can slip away, and how crucial it is not to let it go without intent. Yet the feeling was there, a seed pressed into the soil of my future, an understanding that to wait with kindness is to keep the world from becoming too loud, too fast, too forgetful. In the years that followed, I learned that the river's memory is not a trap, but a lantern you carry through the dark. The bright things of youth, the bright sun on the water, the easy laughter, the hurried plans fade with the seasons, but the quiet practice of listening remains, a steady flame that does not scorch but warms. Loss comes, as it always does, with a soft closing of a door or the distant clack of a train that carries away who we were with those who loved us most. Yet memory, if we tend it with care, offers a room where those people and those hours can gather again, unhurried, patient, and generous in their forgiveness of our younger flaws. Now, when the room grows bright with afternoon light, or the clock ticks too loudly in the quiet of the evening, I close my eyes and return to the river's edge, where the leaf found its path, and the water kept its secrets with a steady, forgiving grace. I feel the old warmth settle in my bones. Hear the soft counsel of grandmother's voice, the way she spoke of time as something that travels with us, not something that plucks us away from what we love. Time may pass, but meaning endures, patient as the river, and as sure as the memory that helps a child become a person who can love and endure. I am grateful for that simple day, for the ordinary acts that became the architecture of a life, the heat that loosened the soil and the heart, the small rituals that tether us to one another, the capacity to listen when the world grows loud, the courage to wait for the current to reveal its truth. And so I walk onward with a heart that knows how to pause, how to listen, how to let the soft rainwater of memory steady me when I need it most. Time may pass, but meaning endures, and that truth keeps me gentle, keeps me hopeful, keeps me grateful for every ordinary day that has become forever dear.